Welcome to Crushing Kayfabe. My name is Jason Garish. Thank you for watching the show. All right, let's start things off with Raw. Raw in North Kakalaki, North Carolina. For some reason, I wanted to say Nashville, but that was previous week, right? Wow, why am I starting to blend to one, folks? I'm sorry, but we had some real cool pre-show arrivals. I like AJ Styles being driven into the arena by William Byron in his NASCAR. That was pretty cool. We had Sami Zayn opening up the show, addressing the whole Kevin Owens thing. Erupts into almost into a melee between those guys, and then Sami convincing Pierce to set up a non-sanctioned match at the Elimination Chamber. Interesting. That should be really good. That anything with it. Sami and Kevin Owens is going to be great. So we had Dominic Mysterio with Carlito versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles his first match back. With let's see, AJ getting the win on that would be a pinfall. Let's see here. What else? If you hear some counting in the background, my son apparently is playing hide and seek and wanted to do this during the show. Number one contenders match between Ivy Nile and Dakota Kai. Ends up Dakota Kai winning via pinfall. They're just going to shove Dakota Kai down our throats no matter how mid and boring she is. Unfortunately. This is a contender for the Intercontinental too, I think, right? Yeah, so excuse me. Let's see, what else we got here? Gunther addresses Jey Uso. Tries to come out and does the Yeet thing, and we have Jay coming out to confront him. You know, had the whole thing broke out. We had Gunther confronting McAfee about the whole eating thing and telling him that he's biased and whatnot. I doubt there's ever going to be anything that results from that, but that prompted Jay to come out. We had Pete Dunne versus Penta. I mean, Pete Dunne is definitely going to be one of those guys. Penta's that they can have that will keep up with Penta. So that's like I said, one of the guys. They're going to keep feeding Penta these guys that have great work rates, I think, and they're going to establish him. I mean, Penta's already literally, and figuratively on fire there. I mean, if you look at his opening videos, but this is really cool. They're really establishing him and helping to get him over, feeding some of the guys that are good workers like the Pete Dunnes and whatnot. Let's see, we had an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Roxanne Perez versus Raquel Rodriguez with Liv Morgan. Roxanne Perez wins that by pinfall. Let's see, what else we got? Oh, we got Elimination Chamber qualifying match with Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. With Seth freaking Rollins winning that. Let's see. That was pretty much it for the show. Not one of the better Raws since moving over to Netflix. Kind of a paint-by-number Raws, but numbers Raw, I should say. But they're going to kind of get into their groove again. Obviously things are going to pick up momentum once we start going closer and closer towards WrestleMania, but right now, kind of Elimination Chamber is just that stepping stone towards it. Let's see. Onwards to SmackDown. We had The Rock bumping Cody Rhodes in the main event. Instead, he's going to address the crowd to start things out with Drew McIntyre versus Jimmy Uso. We had, let's see, Uso defeating McIntyre, and McIntyre going ballistic afterwards, becoming the perennial whiner. Eventually, McIntyre's going to have to win a match. I don't know why. I mean, I kind of know what they're doing. I mean, he keeps his heat and his momentum regardless of who he faces and kind of what happens. You know, he's been that good on the mic and whatnot, but he's going to have to start winning some matches. Let's see. We had Miz and Carmelo Hayes versus R-Truth and LA Knight. And by the way, this was in New Orleans, Louisiana, you know, and I think R-Truth even made a little joke about LA Knight being Louisiana Knight, which I know Missionary on Wrestling Soup's been making that joke for months now. We had the Miz and Hayes defeating Truth and Knight, with some interference from Shinsuke Nakamura. So the feud between Shinsuke and LA Knight continues, which is awesome. I like to see that. That's going to culminate in a really good match. We had Tiffany Stratus versus Candice LeRae. This kind of fluff just to kind of go. It's continuous storylines between Tiffany and Flair, Charlotte Flair. But we also had the beatdown at the end, in which Trish Stratus comes in for the save. I think this is setting up a whole thing between her and Nia Jax, because I think she wants to kind of end her career via Nia Jax, and Nia Jax will do that. Hopefully she doesn't hurt Trish. I like Trish, but and Michelle kind of furthering. I mean, not Michelle. Wow, Charlotte Flair kind of furthering the whole feud between her and Tiffany Stratton going on, you know. And then, let's see. Was that really the final say? Wow. We had, I am totally spaced on this because I don't recollect it. A lot of this. I don't remember seeing DIY versus Pretty Dead. That's right. DIY versus Pretty Deadly. And we had, we had no contest there. We kind of had to end things off. Actually, no, we had Damian Priest and Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu, and Solo Sikoa, with Priest and Strowman defeating Fatu and Sikoa. The only thing this kind of furthering is Fatu and Sikoa not being on the same page and furthering more dissension within the ranks of that kind of thing. And we kind of brings us all around to the whole Rock and Cody Rhodes thing. This was pretty. Oh, my dog hears somebody outside, a truck outside. This kind of was one of the more confusing segments that I've seen in a long, long time. And from what I hear from people, pretty divisive. I wish this truck would go by because that's driving me nuts right outside my window. I'm hoping, but and the dog's going absolutely ballistic. But yeah, Rock comes out, real warm welcome in New Orleans. Does a face then heel turn kind of thing. He starts making some pretty rude comments towards some rated R comments towards the residents of New Orleans. Let's see, and then we got the it's funny that he does still have the crowd in the palm of his hand because he turned them against him within a matter of a second. It was ridiculous. But yeah, we got that. And he had a New Orleans themed entrance, which was kind of cool. I guess one of the big deals about that, though, was the announcement that next year's WrestleMania is going to be in New Orleans. To, as predicted, to a giant ovation there. Rock kind of gets out there, like I said, starts berating the fans, starts doing his shtick. Back and forth, just completely confusing promo. Not one of his better. He's starting to get too cliched and starting to lose it. It's sad, but because he is such a ridiculously charismatic guy and he knows what to do. I wish he'd pick a lane in this promo because it's like he switched. He had like 10 turns within this one promo. It was ridiculous. And he keeps repeating several things over and over, but lately that's been his MO, and it's pretty irritating, to tell you the truth. But we have him coming out to the ring, and then after he finishes kind of berating the fans, he calls Cody out. Excuse me, man. And he calls Cody out, and after a long spiel talking about how they become friends, how their mothers were hanging out together, WrestleMania, this, that, and the other thing, drinking tequila together. Both their fathers were looking down from heaven, all that. He ends up, like I mentioned, he ends up calling Cody out, and kind of like I'm meandering right now. He was pretty much on par with that, but really confusing. Calls out Cody and goes into a spiel about wanting him to be his champion, wanting Cody to be, his champion, being The Rock's champion. They talks about him being the head of the board of TKO and how he's really powerful and he's attained so much and that he wants Cody to attain new heights and this, that, and the other thing. And then he ends the promo with telling Cody that he wants his soul, which is, where are we going with this? This is just bizarre. I mean, I had a friend ask me if The Rock is turning into The Undertaker, and I'm beginning to wonder. Like I said, he did so many heel face flip flops in this this promo that I was left exhausted by the end of it. And the whole thing with The Rock saying that he wanted a brother, and there were times it was almost homoerotic, which was completely bizarre and unsettling and unnerving between The Rock and the sad thing is, I don't know what they prepared ahead of time for this, but even Cody looked completely befuddled and confused at times. I mean, he's a great promo and real professional, so obviously he held it together, but there were times where he looked like he didn't know what the heck to do. But very weird. I don't know where this is going. That's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing I don't know where this is going. I can't predict it, but at the same time, it's a situation where it's completely confusing. I hope they clear this up and offer some more clarity on this storyline, because it was awfully bizarre Friday night. But that's pretty much the highlights from all this. I'm trying to think of what else has gone on in the wrestling world. Not a whole lot. I mean, I guess, when did AEW had an event in Australia, which I heard some pretty spectacular failure types things from it. I did see the Buddy Matthews entrance and everything. I thought that was pretty cool to pay tribute to his wife in that manner. I thought was really cool. And hopefully we'll see him back in WWE soon, joining, excuse me, Malachi Black, and maybe even forming their own type of House of Black in WWE. I would love that. I think that would be great. It would be a shot in the arm for the tag team division if they choose to go that route. You know, I don't know if they can get Brody King, and he's real. Brody King is highly underrated, I think. That dude can work really well as a big guy, and he brings out his matches with Darby are some of the best matches that Darby has had. Darby Allin, that is, and he's brought out some really spectacular things in him, and he would make a good addition, I think, to WWE. If they can bring all three of those guys over, that would be phenomenal. I've been a Malachi Black fan for a long, long time, back when he was, what was he, Aleister Black or whatever, in WWE. But I always thought, no matter where he's been, I've always thought he was severely underutilized, and, you know, he was being punished in AEW because of his affiliation with Punk and his friendship with Punk, and that's like a lot of other guys, like, same thing with Ricky Starks, or should I say Ricky Saints, which is an awful name. I'm sorry. Starks is way better than Ricky Saints. I'm sorry. It doesn't have the same type of ring. I'm sorry. And it pains me to say that, but I still think he's going to be great in WWE. You know, real good worker, real charismatic. I mean, my only quote-unquote knock on him might be his size, but other than that, I've been a fan of his since I saw him in NWA, and really enjoyed his work there. But then into AEW. Let's see, but aside from that, I can't really think of anything. I'm sure I'm missing a billion things, but, you know, we'll see a lot more happening as we get closer and closer to WrestleMania, you know, and it should be entertaining. You know, it should be entertaining. I'm looking forward to Elimination Chamber. I think it's gonna be great. What else we got? Like I said, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I'm sure my notes are non-existent this week, so that's kind of why I just kind of blew through things off the top of my head here. But we'll before I say goodbye, I'd like to give a shout out to Then and Now, downtown Trenton. If you're in the area in Western Tennessee, check them out. Tell them that Crushing Kayfabe sent you. You know, Then and Now, so you can't miss it. It's right across from the courthouse. You can't miss it in the square. So Then and Now, and we have some items for sale there too. So let them know that Crushing Kayfabe sent you. And also, check us out on CrushingKayfabe.com. Crushing with a K. And check us out on Patreon. I don't know where you're watching or listening to the show right now, but we're available on Spotify, YouTube, and those links are available on CrushingKayfabe.com also. But more importantly, though, check us out on Patreon, because you can get the show $1 a month, ad-free, and help keep the lights on, keep the show going. That's Patreon.com. Search for Crushing Kayfabe, Crushing with a K, and aside from that, really, like I said, real short show. Not a whole lot going on. Aside from that, I'm sure I'm glancing over a billion different things, but it'll come to me at some point, and then I'll go, oh shoot, maybe I'll cover that in the next show. But hey, prayers going out to Ukraine, going out to Israel, you know, and you know, thank you for tuning in, and God bless.